On April 8, 1994, the world learned of Kurt Cobain's tragic death. This day marked the end of an era, and by extension, the voice of a generation. However, the same day also marked the release of Smash, the third studio album by The Offspring. In a moment that symbolically bridged the decline of grunge and the rise of mainstream punk, Smash, alongside Green Day's Dookie, helped define a new wave of punk rock in the 1990s. The question I have today is, what if Kurt Cobain had heard Smash? Could he have connected with the album's energy, and would it have resonated with him? Although The Offspring didn't break into the mainstream until 1994 with their third album, Smash, the band had been around, and it's not too much of a stretch to think that Kurt Cobain might have heard their music. In fact, Nirvana's debut album, Bleach, was released on June 15, 1989, the same day as Offspring's self-titled debut album. As stated previously, The Offspring released their third album, Smash, on April 8, 1994, which happened to be the same day that Kurt Cobain was found dead. Also, Samuel Bayer, who directed the music video for Gotta Get Away, also directed Nirvana's biggest hit, Smells Like Teen Spirit. By 1994, the landscape of alternative rock was shifting. The grunge movement, which Nirvana had propelled into the mainstream with Nevermind in 1991, was beginning to wane. Meanwhile, punk rock, which had thrived in the underground during the 1970s and 1980s, was seeing a revival. Two albums in particular, Dookie by Green Day and Smash by The Offspring. These were instrumental in the resurgence. Both records received remarkable commercial success, bringing punk rock back into the mainstream consciousness. Released through the independent label Epitaph Records, Smash was recorded on a modest budget of $20,000. The Offspring's blending of punk and rock riffs appealed to a growing audience that had craved something less polished than the sounds of the time. By the end of 1994, Smash had sold millions of copies, becoming the best-selling album released by an independent label and helping mainstream punk reach arguably its greatest popularity. To this day, Offspring's Smash is the best-selling independent record of all time, with over 11 million copies sold worldwide, and a 6-time platinum certification. The success of Smash and Dookie brought attention from major record labels, who sought to capitalize on the revival of punk by courting bands like Rancid, NoFX, and Pennywise. It's well documented that Kurt Cobain was heavily influenced by punk rock. Bands like the Sex Pistols, Black Flag, and the Melvins had a profound impact on his songwriting and artistic vision. Nirvana's music, while classified as grunge, often drew heavily from punk aesthetics. Raw, emotional, and confrontational. Punk rock rejecting the mainstream mirrored Cobain's disdain for the commercial machine that had enveloped Nirvana. Considering Cobain's musical foundation, it's likely he would have appreciated the punk purity found in Smash. While the album incorporated more straight rock riffs compared to the grunge distortion that characterized Nirvana's sound, the energy, urgency, and rebellion that Smash conveyed could have resonated with him. Smash wasn't just about polished production or radio-friendly hits. It was recorded in a hurry, with the band constantly trying to sneak into the studio at off hours to save on cost. The album was put together on the spot, reflecting the kind of rough-around-the-edges creativity that Cobain himself often sought. As the Offspring's frontman Dexter Holland later stated, they had no expectations of mainstream success. This authenticity, Creating without expectations or corporate pressure is something Cobain famously wrestled with as Nirvana's fame exploded. On Smash, tracks like Come Out and Play and Self-Esteem deal with themes of disillusionment, frustration, and complexities of human relationships. These are themes Cobain also explored throughout his career, however in different stylistic tones. The defiance against mainstream acceptance were values both Cobain and the Offspring seemed to share, which could have made Smash a refreshing listen for someone as disenchanted with the industry as Cobain was. If Kurt had listened to Smash, he might have recognized the winds of change in the alternative music landscape. The rise of Green Day's Dookie and the Offspring's Smash marked a new era for punk rock. One that was faster, less introspective than grunge, and more focused on the collective angst of youth. This shift was significant because Smash and Dookie weren't just successful, they created a pathway for bands like Rancid, NoFX, and Pennywise to emerge and thrive in the newly receptive mainstream. Cobain had always been aware of how genres and movements evolve. He understood that Nevermind's success paved the way for alternative punk rock bands to have their voices heard on a larger stage. Given his punk influences and love for breaking genre boundaries, he might have viewed the success of Smash as an exciting development for punk rock, a genre that had greatly influenced him and Nirvana's sound. It's difficult to say definitively, but it's plausible that Kurt Cobain would have connected with Smash on multiple levels. The raw energy and the return of punk rock to the mainstream through albums like Smash would likely have intrigued him. More than just a stylistic shift, Smash represented the continuation of a movement Cobain had long admired, punk's defiant, anti-establishment core. Had Cobain been in the headspace to appreciate it, Smash might have reminded him of why he started making music in the first place, to express raw emotion without the trappings of fame and corporate influence. It could have been a bittersweet moment, as he might have seen a new generation of punk rockers navigating the same waters he had, with the same struggles, the same frustrations, but also the same rebellious energy that once fueled his own creativity. The album Smash has a lot of nostalgic value for me. It was the first album I can remember buying. I still remember listening to it for the first time with my cousin at his house. The way the album starts with the track Time to Relax, with a narrator introducing the album, it was unlike anything I had heard before. Just looking at the CD artwork brings back memories of putting it into my CD player and listening to it over and over again. The song that made me get the album was Gotta Get Away. I saw the video on MTV and thought it was badass. I thought they were another rock or grunge band at the time. I didn't even know what punk was. But 1994 was the year punk hit hard into the mainstream. It might not be cool or very punk rock to be considered mainstream, but a lot of kids weren't aware of the underground scene, and Smash and Dookie was their introduction.